Well, hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of The Stand, Episode 7, The Walk. Let's do it. So welcome back to my ongoing review series of The Stand. Now, if you've been watching my reviews, you know that overall I'm enjoying this show. I thought it started off okay, not great, but that it's been on an upswing with me really enjoying the last couple episodes. This week I thought it was still strong, maybe not as good as last week, that's been my favorite so far, but I did like it. But now for my usual caveat, this will be a spoilers review. I'm not going to cover every beat of the episode, but there are specific things that I want to discuss, so if you haven't seen the episode yet and you want to go in cold, go check it out, hopefully you'll come back later, but this is officially your spoiler warning. Cool? Cool. Moving on. We open with Trash Can Man in the desert finding a nuke. I'm still not sure how I feel about Ezra Miller's performance, and we didn't get a whole lot more to go on here, but I did like the scene overall. It felt right out of the book, so that was cool. Now, one area where I feel that this show has really dropped the ball was with its handling of the character of Nick Andros. He's a huge part of the book and the 94 miniseries. He's one of my favorite characters, and when he died in the book, I was absolutely gutted. In last week's episode, I felt nothing because I didn't feel like I knew him at all. He almost felt like a vehicle just there to introduce the Tom character, but I was hoping that this episode would sort of retcon my feelings, maybe by having the people of the Boulder Free Zone talk about how much he meant to them and the society, and they kind of touched on that, but it still really didn't change my opinion in any way. And I did like the scene with Mother Abigail giving the committee their marching orders. Gave me a bit of a chill as it's such an iconic part of the book. And I liked the makeup on Abigail, made her look really old and frail after being exposed to the elements for so long. And sure, the candle automatically going out at the moment she died was a little bit cheesy, it was a little on the nose, I still kind of liked it. And of course, we see Harold fly off his motorcycle and down the embankment. Unfortunately, it looked a lot better than it did in the 94 miniseries, because that's what budgets can do. Oddly, I was more sad that Harold was gonna die than I ever was about Nick. I think a lot of that's just down to I've really enjoyed Owen Teague's performance in this show as Harold, and now we're not going to get any more of that, presumably. And then we get a couple of touching scenes back to back. Franny confronting Stu before he leaves for Vegas, basically demanding that he swear that he'll come back. And then Franny taking the picture of the four of them right before they leave. I found that really touching. It got me a little bit choked up, I'm not going to lie. Now, this is a little thing, but it did drive me crazy. When they're on the walk to Vegas, they're asking Ray if she knows how to tell if rivers and lakes have drinkable water, and she goes, oh, what? So, like, the Indian lady knows how to do all this? And I'm just sitting there going, oh, I see where this joke is going. And then they go like, well, can you? And she's like, of course. Wah, wah. I think it was supposed to be cute. I thought it was really lame. That said, I did enjoy the inclusion of Radiohead in the soundtrack. That was cool, even though I don't love that song. Now, when Larry finds Harold's body, I was struck by how great the dead body dummy looked, particularly compared to the dead body dummy of Clifton Collins Jr. character last week, which looked horrible. And then hearing Harold in his own voice recite the note that he left, the whole idea about how as a kid he was too afraid to jump down the sand pit, which is obviously mirroring his situation at this point, but also taking responsibility for everything that he did and just saying that he was misled. I thought that was really well done. Now, the sex scene between Flag and Nadine did not work for me at all. It felt quite lurid, as it probably should if you're having sex with a demon, but it felt lurid in the wrong way. Like, it almost came across more as a Lifetime movie to me, rather than something kind of scary and kind of tragic. That said, at the end of the scene where Flag kind of roars and looks like an Urukai that's just been born, that was kind of cool. And we finally see the iconic scene of Stu falling and breaking his leg, as was prophesied by Mother Abigail. There was one thing about that scene which overall I liked. There was one thing about that scene that really didn't sit right with me. They're walking along the highway and then they get to the chasm that separates the highway and they're like, oh no. It's like, how did you guys not see that 100 yards back, let alone 5 yards back? That was a little ridiculous. But like I said, overall I did really like this sequence. Larry not wanting to abandon Stu and Stu talking about walking through the valley of death. I thought that was great. But particularly, this is a favorite moment of mine in every adaptation. Glenn giving Stu the pills and, you know, implying how to commit suicide with them should he decide he wants to. And then even that cute little joke they had between the two of them, I thought that was really touching. But then as the rest of the party leave, we get this incredibly jarring cut back to Nadine and Flag in the desert with I Put a Spell on You playing. That didn't work for me at all, particularly because then immediately we cut back to Stu and Kojak the dog coming back to him. I kind of feel like maybe it would have worked better if we see the party leave and then maybe Stu kind of passes out wakes up, sees Kojak, and then we cut to Nadine and Flag. But whatever, I'm not an editor. I did really like after the party is caught by Lloyd and they're taken to New Vegas and they're just looking out the car windows, taking it all in, with the crucified people, the giant screens and statues of this demagogue, people beating one another in the streets. I really liked how they all looked sickened, like this is what the other half of humanity is living amongst. I thought that was pretty powerful. And then finally, as they enter Flag's casino, we get a pretty good version of Larry Underwood's Baby Can You Dig Your Man, and it's kind of a cool song. And then Flag sends the now incredibly pregnant Nadine down to the lobby to meet the new visitors. And gosh darn it, that makeup was terrible. She looked like a really bad Corpse Bride cosplay. Why? Overall though, I did really enjoy this episode, though not as much as the last two. I'm glad that we're seemingly done with all the flashbacks, and we are pretty much in the endgame now. And based on the episode titles, I won't give it away here, but you can look it up if you want to. It seems to me that the big climax is gonna come in the next episode, and then it'll be kind of more of an epilogue. And I'm quite excited to see where it goes. So those are my thoughts on The Stand Episode 7, The Walk. Now, I want to know, what did you think about the episode? Do you have a favorite moment that you're most looking forward to in these last two episodes? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give it a share if you really enjoyed it. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, The Stand, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Take care.